What's going on? Today I'm going to show you how I make chill type beats in bitwig Studio. Okay, let's get to it. Okay, so this is my session view. This is where I start my ideas in the clip launcher view. And here, this is where my final idea resides. Okay, so what I'm going to do is I'm going to play the beat and then I'll explain how I came up with each element. So let it run. And that's pretty much the beat. It just repeats itself. Okay, so let's go over the individual elements. So I started here with the pianos. This is a sound from Native Instruments, The Gentleman. Pretty dope piano sound. So I just started with 4 simple chords until I got to like the breakdown here. But and what I did, I used Scalar to hold my chords. So I programmed them and I put it in here. So it's a pretty easy way of just coming up with chords and stuff. So on this track, I have, you'll notice that I have this vinyl simulator. You'll hear the crackly sound. You can hear it now as we're speaking. So I take it off and then there's nothing. Okay, so what I did is I took off the low end frequencies, and I do this for most of my instruments. I think it's essential for keeping a cleaner mix and a less muddy mix. And I put a side chain compressor on pretty much all of my instruments. I use the kick to make all of my instruments duck. So that is the piano. Here's another piano. Let's bring this one in. Again, I took off some of the lower frequencies, added a little mid-high range, put a delay on here. Then I also use a crystallizer. This is a pretty dope plug-in by Sound Toys. Crystallizer. It does a lot of cool effects like delay type, granular type effects. Next, organ. Let's see, what is this? Massive X. So it's a pretty dope plug-in. Let's see, let's go to the organ. Oops. So all I did is, again, put a side chain compressor on here, and I took some of the low end frequencies off. On to the next, we have the strings. So again, took off the low end frequencies and I don't know why I put a side chain compressor on here, but I don't think it's even active because the kick is not even present in this part, so I can actually turn that off. As far as strings, I use Session Strings 2 by Native Instruments. Pretty dope. Let's go to the Rhodes. Let's see, what do we have here? Scarby Mark I, another native instrument. So let's see. So I took off the low end frequencies. I put a side chain compressor on here. Then I also put crystallizer on here too. It has like a subtle type delay effect. The bass. Let's see, what did I use? MoFat for the bass. This is like a classic old school sound module that was pretty popular in the early 2000s, maybe the 90s, but it worked for this beat. Let's see, what did I do here? So I took a little bit of the low end off. I put a time shift on here so it wouldn't clash with the kick. And I also put a peak limiter on here, so because with the higher frequencies in the bass, it usually tends to be louder. So the way I tame that, I use a peak limiter. Let's see. 808, it's just an 808. I use Sub Lab. What I did is I sampled the Sub Lab, one shot sample, and I threw it into the sampler in bitwig Studio, the native sampler, because I feel like I have a little more control. Let's see. Let's see. Okay, let's go over the drums. I'm gonna go over those together collectively. So I'm just gonna solo these together. And honestly, this is the second element I came up with. After I had the piano, I came up with the whole drum kit. So let's see. Let's go over the snare. So again, took off the low end frequencies, and I did a lo-fi type effect on the snare. So if I go to this parameter right here, there's a bit crusher parameter and then a drive, and then you can adjust the mix. And this is a meta filter by Waves. I really like this plugin. It's like one of my favorite plugins to use. So on to the kick. So I have a combination of a kick and then a sine wave, just to have a little more oomph to the kick. So I'm gonna take the sine wave off. It's kind of subtle though. So I like to do that with my kicks to like beef them up. I like to add like a sine. This is just a clap. I didn't really do anything additional to it, so I'll just play it. It almost sounds like a snap. Okay, the hi-hats. It's just a regular hi-hat. And I think I kind of just wrote it in. Just drew them in real sloppily. Then I also add a time shift on here. So it gives that, that type of swing, like a real cool swing. It doesn't sound all robotic. So that's why I like to either play it unquantized or I just draw it in like it's unquantized. And that's pretty much the beat there. Okay, that was my overview on how to make chill type beats in bitwig Studio. Let me know in the comments what you think. Let me know what you like about the video. Let me know what you didn't like about the video, and let me know how I can improve. Okay, thank you for watching, and I'll see you next time. Peace.